So I know you guys are sending me stuff right now with people talking about I wasn't no type of mother, like starting that whole song and dance over again. I don't know why the devil wants you guys to believe such a thing. I don't know what that is. I'm praying about it. I just know that everybody who's got something to say about me and my motherhood, when I raised Jonathan from day one to square one, fed him, clothed him, got him off to college, every man who has something to say about my motherhood didn't have a mother. So if they didn't have a mother, they can't compare my motherhood. I'm not going to argue about it. I'm not going to defend myself. I'm going to leave those people, those snakes, to God. Because it's about time I stop going back and forth about what I already know. You know, I'm like T.D. Jakes at this point. Why am I going to defend a lie? I've already shown y'all already know that the devil is busy. He is evil. If a woman or a man is out here challenging your seed or your relationship with your child, them is the people that you leave to God. They have their own seeds and they do nothing with them. They have their own seeds and nobody argues and fights over them. People have been fighting over my children since I had them. I'm so much used to this. I just never seen it in this form. But I am used to people fighting over my kids. I have been in custody battles over my kids. I know they special. They came out my womb. I know they blessed. They came out my womb. They have all been baptized at the age of 12. I did my due diligence as a mother. I am still here. Those people that are talking about my motherhood, you don't never see them talking about their kids. They kids ain't doing nothing. And they chase behind my son like he's some type of God. He's not. He's just a boy. He's just a man. He's on a journey. I get that you guys are, that it's enticing that he's, you know, you look at him in a certain type of way, but he's just a man. Okay? He's no different from your kids. So when you get on here talking about what type of mother I am or what type of mother I was there. I was present. I'm sorry that your mom decided to get on drugs and say, fuck you. I'm sorry. I am so sorry. I don't know what to tell you to make you feel better. I know you want everybody's mom to be like your mom. That's not the case. Jonathan can never tell you that he had that type of mom. He can never tell you that. His argument right now is that we are in a disagreement as a mother and as a son. You ain't worked one day in that restaurant. You didn't do, all you guys are doing is spending the crumbs that my son is leaving behind. You guys are spending crumbs and that's making you feel like you want to fight me over the person that came out my body. Now, if my son was like, you know, your other artists in foster care or foster homes, or this person raised them or that person raised them, or they was child molested or abused in any type of way, then I can see y'all doing this. But you can't fight over something that God already ordained to me. He's just a child. He's just a man to me. He's not a God to me. So when y'all be like, oh, your son don't mess with you, or you wasn't no type of mama, you didn't go to court. My son is a grown-ass man. I don't go to court with Andre right now. I don't go to court with Janice right now. I don't go to court with my kids while they grown because they grown. Now, don't get it twisted. I asked Wack a couple of times, what day is court? Every time I ask him, he got a whole song and dance about how John don't want me at court. I allow you in my son's life for a season because God has already showed me your deadline. So I'm just going to keep letting you guys argue and fight over my son that eventually has to return to his mother. Okay? I'm going to keep letting you guys out there play with your own kids, because that's really what you're doing. You're playing, when you play with my seeds, you're really playing with your own seeds. I know how this goes. That's why I don't play with people's kids, okay? You guys are literally out there fighting over Jonathan like he's some type of God. I'm good. I'm okay. Thank you. I'm good. So it's nice to see that many people care about my child that I brought into this world. You met my son when he was all of grown. You met my son when he was grown. And it's nice of you to try to come in and make some money off of him and then try to act like you his daddy. You can't be his daddy. You can't. All you could do is be somebody that's making money off him. That's all you could do. You cannot. You can't go to God and talk about that child. You shouldn't be talking to anyone about that child's parents because we were present, because we raised our son, because we put our son through college, because we put our son through high school, because we did what your parents didn't do. We kept him off the streets and out of jail and out of prison his entire until he turned grown. Jonathan did not get grown or have any problems until he met these people, until he ran into this money. So Jonathan has to figure this out for himself, and I'm going to be here no matter what happens, no matter how it goes, until the Lord says he got it, okay? So I appreciate everybody fighting over my son and looking at him like he's some type of God, but I want you guys to know he is a child on a journey, on a mission, just like the rest of us. And I am a very patient person because I know how God works, okay? I done seen it my whole life. I'm not getting ready to argue and fight with you about my child. You can't put my on nothing that got to do with Jonathan. He's your artist. That's it. We don't see you doing nothing shit with your son, making your son no star. We created him, me, his father, and God. You was nowhere around. And I'm very sorry that your mom and dad didn't give a fuck about you to do nothing special for you. That's not our problem, and that's not our fault. My son ain't never seen a foster home. My son ain't never seen a report card that was fucked up, okay? My son ain't never seen none of the shit that you have seen. You guys are not the same, okay? So you work for my son. Let's always remember our place, okay? God put you on earth to work for my son. That's it. That's it, and that's all. Just do your job. That's all I ask. Do your fucking job before I tell God that you are not the right person for the job. I'm the only one that has to answer for that child when I get to the pearly gates. I'm the only one who has to go back. Okay? You're an employer. You don't have to answer for him the way I have to answer for him. You don't have to pray for him. You don't have to do shit for him but clock in. That's it, and that's all. I don't care ever what Jonathan lets you think in your mind. Jonathan knows God. Jonathan knows his mother. Don't ever get the circus fucking twisted. He's not a child to you. He is a child. He will always be my child. So no, he's not a child to you people, but he will always be the child that came out my behind with my shit. Okay? I see him as my son, as my child, as a person on a journey in life. I do not see him the way y'all see him. I will never see him the way y'all see him. I have asked several times. Me and his dad showed up to the court that he said was a court date. There was no court date. Me and his father were there. When Jonathan wants us to come to court or needs his parents to come to court, he will ask us and tell them we do not need to be present. That is your job. God assigned you to work for my son, not me. I'm his mom. So let's all, I'm gonna pray about it. But I think your job spiritually is coming to an end, and I'm gonna pray about it. But woe to the man or the woman who tries to turn someone against their parents, the people who sacrificed, laid down, and damn near laid their life down. I had 3 C-sections, so my pregnancies was not like y'all's. I ain't never did no drugs. I ain't never checked out. I ain't never left him nowhere and then come back. I have never, ever once. I was there on my son's graduation day. I was there when my son threw his first football in college. You people distracted God's plan for my son, and that's okay, because he's on a journey. He has to learn how to make his own decisions in his life to get to the right place at the end of the road. But woe to the woman or the man who thinks it's cute to try to turn God's seed away from the person that he ordained for them to be over their life. Because when you look down at your seed and you get the same results, that's on you. Okay, that's on you. If you sit and try to be a snake and whisper into my son's ear, that same worm, that same disease, that same poison that you putting in my son's ear is on its way to your child. Don't risk your own children, your own salvation, trying to destroy something that me and God put together. He's allowing you to be here on a season. He can remove you at any time. Don't play with people's kids. Don't play with people's relationships with their kids, okay? You don't have a kidney. You don't have no body parts that fit that child. Me and his father do. So, again, this is going to be my last time ever trying to tell you, I don't give a fuck what y'all say. I don't give a fuck what Jonathan allow y'all to say on this journey. When you get ready, God gonna let you know what y'all folks was out here playing with, what you was out here tampering with, because only a thief comes to rob, steal, and kill. Okay? A thief. A thief. So we know where you coming from. Because there is absolutely no way I would tell a child to sit there and go against their parent. Especially if I didn't have one. Now, that man don't talk to his own mama right now, could give a fuck less about her. So we know which side of the fence you're coming from. And there's an expiration to all that come in the name of evil. And that's that right there, what you doing, what you're trying to say against Jonathan's mom, whether I was a bad mom or not, it is not your place. It is not your place. It is no one's place to talk about anybody's motherhood, about anybody's relationship with their mother, especially if you don't fuck with your own. It is not your place to do that. So I'm going to pray that God have mercy on you, all of y'all souls who've been playing with me about my child. Because I know y'all don't have Jesus Christ in your life for real. You just playing like you do. Because you would already know that you do not try to poison nobody against the person that God ordained them to be here through. You do not do that. Like I said, if Jonathan was in foster care and he was raised by Karen and Tiffany and somebody else and he had them seeds and them spirits on him, do what you do. But Jonathan only got 2 spirits on him. That's his mother and his father. And the Lord up above, who told us how to feed him, who told us which direction to take him in, who was there for him his entire life from day one. You just met my son 4 years ago. Woe is the man who tries to poison my son after knowing him for only a short period of time. You don't even know him. You don't even know who the fuck you're dealing with. So that's all I have to say about that. And I'm not going to say it again. I'm not going to defend about being at court. Nigga, I was at the hospital getting ripped open for him to pop out into this world and take his first breath. I was there to make his bottles and make sure he ate. I was there to make sure he was clothed and fed. I was there to make sure he had an education that you never had. I was there to make sure that he was strong. I was there to make sure that he got where he is at right now. I'm very sorry that your mama didn't give a fuck. That don't have shit to do with me. You need to talk to God about that. Don't take that shit out on me. But if you can't go find no foster care, if you can't go find no motherfucking person who say they helped my child eat, they put a roof over my child's head, you do not have a right to try to poison the world or anyone else or any of my children about how they were raised. You were not raised. Your mama did not give a fuck about you. Your mom did not look down at you and say, let me get my life together. Let me keep on going. Your mom didn't give a fuck about you. That's not my fault and that's not my problem. You need to talk to God about that. I wouldn't give a fuck if y'all thought Jonathan didn't love me, not an ounce. I don't give a fuck if you don't think I love him. That ain't none of your motherfucking business. What your business is what God's gonna make sure you feel for fucking with mine. Because somehow y'all keep running around in circles, chasing behind the seed that came out my ass, talking on his behalf. I wouldn't give a fuck if all my spoiled, rotten ass kids didn't give a fuck about me. What that got to do with what God said? Because God is the only person that could give a life. He is the only person that could give life. And gave all y'all plenty of chance.